and welcome to Gaming on a Budget. Today, we bring you Professor Evil and the Citadel of Time. By Funforge Games. Maybe just Funforge, not games. But it's a game company.
That is true.
Panic talking still. Anyway, so...
They don't know anything about the stuff that happened that was deleted.
Well, this is a game about time.
That is true. And the manipulation thereof.
So take your time.
Exactly. So we are a
While
team
manipulating those pieces.
of adventuring,
His face.
steampunky time burglars. We're not stealing time. We're stealing back treasures that Professor Evil has stolen throughout time to keep for himself greedily in his vault.
We're kind of like get backers. Did you ever see that anime?
I didn't see that one.
Huh. But you learn something new about your wife every day.
We are going to be retrieving these treasures, historical treasures, by breaking into Professor Evil's citadel by either entering through a window.
Tilt one of the treasures
By
upwards.
entering through a window.
There you go. Okay.
Disarming
direction.
his security system and stealing the treasures. Hopefully before time catches up with the treasures and he can lock them in the vault. It's a race
And
against...
how will we go about doing that?
We will go about doing that. We will have 3 actions and a special card action. We have cards with special abilities that we will draw 2 at the beginning of our turn. We will get to choose one to do.
And do we have to take our card action first?
No, your card action can be done at any point during your turn. And it doesn't affect your other actions. So your other actions are a choice of movement, switch flipping, door unlocking, and treasure saving. Which is an interesting way to say it.
Can I only do one of each?
Nope, you can do them in any combination as long as there's only 3 of them. And so to enter, your first action, we don't start in the house because, we're breaking in. So your first action will usually be to enter. So on my turn, I can spend a turn to enter. Then I could, if the switch had been on, we could have flipped it off for another action. Then for my third action, I could unlock the door.
Now, why would I want to flip switches?
If you look, the treasures are going to want a certain combination of switches to be off to be able to be rescued. The Mona Lisa here would like the laser switches, the data pad, and the padlocks to all be unlocked before we can rescue it.
And what are those going to look like?
They look like they're color coded and they have symbols. The padlocks have what look like a padlock and are green.
Show us the other side.
Oh, there's an on side and a big red off.
A little lower.
Off
This should be
side.
so good. There we go. Yep.
Then we have saw switches. The Mona Lisa doesn't really care about those, but the Dead Sea Scrolls does.
Okay. Well, they'll figure out
Yeah.
the individual.
There's a bunch of combinations of locks. They each lock has a number on it, and it will tell you how many of that type of switch there are. Professor Evil, at the end of your turn, you are going to roll these dice, and they are going to determine the movement of the time and a couple of different things. They will determine if Professor Evil moves, whether or not the treasure gets closer to the time, or if he's going to teleport to a treasure. If he teleports to a treasure, he's going to turn everything back on and lock all the doors. If he moves through them, he's just going to lock the doors he moves through and switch on the switches in that room. Faulty gears and mechanisms and all that jazz. So that's about all you need to know, right?
Sure, why not?
Alright, well then let's get on to the gameplay. Get me off the camera.
Okie dokie. Pausing unnecessarily for several seconds to correlate the flux capacitor and, I don't know, some sort of kajigger.
Hit the button.
Shut up. You're not the boss of me.